Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far as the Call of Duty scene pulls off a bit of a reverse sweep last night at the Esports Awards. The newly crowned controller Esports Player of the Year, Simp the Sick Joke, has a few words to say about some other pro players within the scene. People have certainly been speculating on who that might potentially be. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do to help this channel reach more people. And please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Thought this was funny first of all from Clayster. Not sure if he kind of intended to fall off the map right here, but to be fair, I almost did this myself playing this map. Actually, I did this, but not quite in this way. That he almost makes it back on the map with the grapple. Not really sure why he's jumping there anyway. But yeah, it doesn't matter what game Clayster's playing. Always there's a good potential, even with the grapple to help him get back on the map. He just goes flying off with well, nothing he can do too much about it. Yesterday, then it was the Esports Awards. Scump's turning out pretty much everyone for the Call of Duty. Well, a lot of people for the Call of Duty scene are there in force. And as I say, usually we do relatively well here. But it didn't start off on that track. I think there's some people that people would say, you know, maybe they deserved an award, but I'm sure other esports and like other games and their communities will say the same thing about their players, right? You kind of get robbed year on year, and you never really know like how they come up with these award ceremonies, like what exactly is being considered, because of course there was the award that Insight, Hydra and Standy all nominated for, Esports Controller Rookie of the Year. Generally, the Call of Duty pros do quite well in this one, and this year especially, like I thought Insight should have been not like an absolute shoo-in. Like I don't really know too much about the other esports and their rookie players, but none of these guys win it, right? Because Insight was there, Hydra was there, I'm not sure Standy actually flew out there. A lot of the players and staff for some of these teams were out there and getting involved, which of course was good to see a nice event like this back in business, because I guess last year it wasn't really run at all, or I think it was run online actually last year, I would imagine, or at least from what I remember. But it was actually this guy Monkey Moon who won it, I'm pretty sure, like controller rookie from the Rocket League side. I'm pretty sure he came in and did some phenomenal things. So it's tough to comment really, because you know we're going to be biased here, right, on the comment section of this video towards Insight and those guys. But yeah, they don't win this one. But well, and Call of Duty of course starts off on a pretty bad track. Even this, right, Metagame Doc, I think I've seen a couple of these actually, and these are phenomenal, because there was some talk about, you know, content series of the year, should it go to the process? That was kind of the nominations, and I think I've watched one or two of these Metagame documentaries, and these are produced spectacularly. So, you know, I think it's difficult to say either way, but of course people in the replies are going to talk about how the process got robbed or whatever. So anyway, Call of Duty didn't necessarily get off to the greatest start. Azuma says, I'm pretty sure this is related to like the whole console rookie of the year situation. I've lost all respect, sorry, this is absolutely rigged for money. And as Trainwreck says, yeah, that actually is facts. The Esports Awards are just as corrupt as Hollywood, right? All award ceremonies have some degree of bias involved, and like, you know, how much corruption really is there. It's tough to say. Like Call of Duty somehow always managed to snag like a Game of the Year award from some like Esports Award ceremony here or there. Like there's always so many like game awards going on that yeah, there's certainly probably some dodgy stuff going on. And I'm pretty sure even Courage said, maybe it was this Esports Award ceremony or it was another one. I think it might have been this Esports Awards last year or a couple of years ago that he was up for nomination for something. He didn't say exactly what. It was either personality or cast or something along those lines, and he couldn't make it for whatever reason. Like he had something else going on, and he was receiving a lot of hints in his emails being like, look, you probably want to attend this one, wink wink nudge nudge type stuff, like you're going to win the entire thing. And people were kind of saying that that was going to be the case, but he couldn't end up making it, right? And well, then he was watching the awards waiting for them to kind of give it to him, and then they gave it to somebody else. So he's kind of saying that yeah, these award ceremonies kind of corrupt, it's not all perfect, but still Call of Duty belt is back. As Arcitys says, caught at the Esports Awards, not the greatest start, but well, then things kick off slightly in our favour, I suppose. And as FaZe say right here, Call of Duty tonight at the Esports Awards, we are reverse sweeping, we're bringing it back all the way. So well, firstly, congratulations, massive congrats to Miles. I was so happy to see Miles win this, because there was so many play-by-play casters up for nomination here. This is such a prestigious award really within the entire esports scene, and I mean, Miles and Chance this year were spectacular in Call of Duty. Miles, I mean, what a guy. Like, I'll share his kind of acceptance speech at the end of this video. Such a stand-up guy, really talented caster, puts in a lot of time behind the scenes. I remember when I was at Anaheim in 2019, I was really impressed. A lot of the other casters, they were just going to be sitting around watching the games. Miles was behind the scenes talking to the players, talking to the coaches, to just kind of get a bit of information that he could bring onto the stage when he was casting the match. Really, obviously incredibly witty, we all know that about him, and yeah, incredibly deserving of this award. So that is fantastic to see. And well, that was certainly not where it ended for the COD side of things, as FaZe say, Esports Team of the Year. Some people would say that Na'Vi kind of got robbed of this one, but to be fair, FaZe were so dominant in Call of Duty this year, this is probably about deserved. So yeah, the credit where it's due to the FaZe guys. Na'Vi and Simp kind of got robbed by the boys right here, but you know, you could argue at least, but Simp still won his you know, PC Player of the Year or whatever, which of course was expected. But in terms of Controller Player of the Year, it goes to Simp, right? You know, the winner of this in partnership with Scump, it's Simp. I mean, no real surprise at this point. There was a few guys up for nomination for this, which would have made a fair bit of sense, but usually it's a Call of Duty player that walks away with this one, and yeah, Simp gets the job done without too much difficulty at the end of the day. So fair play to the boys, and yeah, not a bad haul, to be honest, for the Call of Duty scene when all is said and done. This also from, well, the Organization of the Year side, 100 Thieves win it. Of course, they were absolutely killing it lately. Like, if there's one organization that probably anyone would want to join right now, 100 Thieves has got to be right up there at the top of it. They are killing it on all fronts. But, I mean, there was also the fact that I'm pretty sure they won, like, Apparel of the Year as well, which is no surprise there. They also win Organization of the Year, which, of course, pretty prestigious award in its own right as well. And they were involved in Call of Duty, and they shots come from Call of Duty, so I just thought I'd mention it, right? Because, you know, it's certainly relevant, I think, to some degree to what they've been doing in Call of Duty. Hopefully they'll have a more successful year on that front with iLLeY Thieves as well, because, well, they're certainly going to look for something along those lines. This then is what, well, our new, you know, Esports Controller Player of the Year says. Some of these pros are actual clowns, LMAO. So, this is what Simp says last night, and people are kind of wondering, okay, who exactly is this referring to? Who's he talking about? And, you know, where does this come from, right? So, people were kind of trying to figure it out here in the replies. Clayster says, you know, not me though, you're the man. Clay says, you know, there's some other ones, Bance says how them go on, and Mickey comes back, you know, Birdcage will go down as the greatest map in Call of Duty history. Maybe it's Bance, Tuna's like, you know, it's about me, you're a respectable man, brother. And this then from Slack to we will look at when he says, okay, gotta be the GA chat, I would bet my bank account. So saying, okay, it's gotta be something crazy going on in the gentleman's agreement side. People want to get rid of this or that, or like snipers or whatever, and Simp might not be particularly happy about it. But he says, yeah, you'd be broke. Like, you know, you bet your bank account on that, you'd be wrong. It's not about the GA chat. So people were speculating what this might be about, and this happened at a very similar time to this thread that came out last night. So this was, I mean, this is pretty much what people think that Simp is referring to. It's not guaranteed by any means, but people believe that this is the case, and I can kind of see why, because it came out at a very similar time, and maybe this is kind of enough. And we know that Simp, right, like he's talked about it before, he doesn't necessarily have like too many friends among other pro players in the scene. He said last year that most of the time, if he's going to talk to other pro players, it's going to be to players on his own team. He doesn't really get along with the other teams too well. I think he said that like the Toronto guys is like the only other guys really that the FaZe guys actually get on with particularly well, or at least will talk to on a regular basis. Like the FaZe guys generally keep themselves to themselves, and they just win the championships at the end of the day, and they kind of let the other drama with the scene settle amongst itself. So you don't see Simp, for example, playing tournaments too often with some of the OpTic guys and this type of stuff, and you know, the New York guys. I'm pretty sure he gets on decently with Clayster though after the relationship they had, but that's just generally how it is with Simp, you know, keeps himself to himself, that type of stuff. So this clip came out yesterday when this guy, you know, getting a nice little 1v2 on iLLeY Dashy in this match right here. Now, you know, iLLeY Dashy come in the chat, try to, they're going to talk a bit of trash, and to be fair, a lot of this stuff's relatively tame, right? Let's, you know, not beat around the bush here, but this is what they have to say, you know, take a shower, brother. So, of course, you got this guy, he's up in the camera, he's having a good time. I'm the world champ, you're a creddy, says iLLeY in the reply. Dashy goes on to say, don't think you could have made it more obvious, Loki. He's not exactly sure what he's referring to here. Then, you know, we aren't creddies like you. So a creddy, you know, a player who'll camp in a corner or play a nice little angle that, you know, give him an opportunity to win a round. Basically like a cheesy playstyle or whatever. But to be fair, it's been considered that in the pro scene, actually being a creddy is probably quite a good thing nowadays, because it gets you a free kill. People call Cellium and even a player like iLLeY kind of a creddy in their own way. But playing them in a chal, like people are a little bit different. And as Dashy says, no cap, keep this cam, POV. That face cam was not it, right? So kind of, I guess, talking about these guys' looks or whatever. And no, that's kind of what they're suggesting with the shower points. But, you know, anyway, a lot of this stuff relatively tame. But still, Dashy and iLLeY, you're having a bit of trash talk here in the chat after I'm pretty sure they lost this one, or at least lost this 1v2 to this guy, Chris. And then it seems Simp is coming out and saying, yeah, you know, some of these pros are actual clowns, like maybe talking about Dashy and iLLeY. At the end of the day, I don't think there was all that much to this, but at the same time, it is kind of interesting to just hear that Simp in general, as he says, you know, some of these pros are weird. We do know that he doesn't get on too well with a lot of the pros in the league, really, or at least, you know, the relationship there isn't necessarily been built up too much, and that's in a reason why you would imagine, because that's the thing, like, is it a friendship league? These are all the questions that keep coming up every single year, some of the players that get picked up, and everyone says that nowadays everything got a bit soft, because back in the day, there used to be all this drama and all this rivalry, and then during, like, Black Ops 3, like, Infinite Warfare type periods, everyone started playing 8s with each other, and then they all get on quite well, so there's no drama within the scene, particularly because everyone's enjoying their time, like, you know, everyone's friends with each other outside of the game. That isn't necessarily the case anymore, especially with some of these FaZe guys, so maybe that's a reason why they had some of the success that they have had, because you know, they feel like there's a grudge against them at times from some of the other players in the scene. There's you know, a guy like Cellium, for example, was kind of not exactly blacklisted, but there was a lot of players within the scene on, like, I guess, the higher levels of things that were kind of saying to Cellium, okay, this guy's dodgy, like, should he be in the scene? So I can understand why they maybe don't get on so well with some of the other organizations, so maybe something to keep your eyes on going forward. But yeah, a few interesting words from Simp, certainly calling potentially Dashy and iLLeY clowns for what they were doing here on the timeline. This also, just because we were mentioning going back in the day, Black Ops 3 Infinite Warfare type time, when I became pro jetpacking around, I never in my life I thought I'd have to break a wall to make my own heady. It was so simple just flying around the game. I mentioned sport again, Chris, you, Tyler, aBeZy, of course, you know, MC, and I on the M8, oh my, with the VMPs. Like, that would just be beautiful, right? VMPs, there, mate. So back in the Black Ops 3 days, that was the good stuff. That's when, well, RC started playing. That's when I first started watching Simp streams, and it was pretty ridiculous stuff. But this also from Simp, we do have to wonder whether the automaton is going to last the test of time with that Simp shooting it like this, and with the pistol, the rat as well, which has clearly now been unbanned or whatever in the rule set after the chaos we talked about last night. But yeah, Simp certainly doesn't seem to be slowing down for this upcoming title. Very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and looks like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thanks for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
It took me a while to get here. There was a lot of huggers on the way, and I forgot we're in a global pandemic. It's been strange to get hugged quite so much tonight. Thank you so much. This is unbearably surreal. It's a tremendous honor, and thank you, Esports Awards. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who voted. Thank you to the Call of Duty fans. This is all for you. Your unbridled passion and your raging enthusiasm for the game is what drives us. Thanks, Mum, Dad. Thank you again for letting me do this. Countless hours spent in front of my consoles. Probably unhealthy at certain times, but you nailed it. So thank you very much. Thank you to the family at MLG for taking a chance on me. You're incredible. It was a lot of dick jokes. You let them all slide and you still gave me a shot, so thank you very much. My family at CSA, thank you for the countless support for the last 2 years. Chance, if it wasn't for you, none of this happens, mate. As far as I'm concerned, this is just as much yours. Lastly, I want to thank